All right. What's up, y'all? Coming to you live. I'm trying to load to YouTube Live, both Facebook group live. Okay, let me turn my volume down because Zoom will play back. What's up? I think it works. Let me see if my team lets me know that they can hear me. They can hear me live on YouTube. My first time. Okay, are we good? Are we good? Tonight we're going to go over, and happy Friday 13th. By the way, it's not Friday 13th like scary Friday 13th. Did y'all know that it's actually the day of the goddess? The day of the goddess. Did you know that? Did you know it's the day of the goddess? Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you, Vernell. And thank you, Crystal. Because this is my first time live streaming on YouTube. So that was the whole thing because I was on the wrong channel. Anyway, hey to those of you on YouTube, listen, this is also going to be on the Hot Moms Lifestyle podcast. So be sure to follow that because I post so many goodies. And tonight, listen, I told you on Facebook as well that my YouTube, all right, so y'all know I help high performance women get happy and lose weight. We do it with a trauma informed approach. We do hormones and all that, where other white coats can't give you answers, even functional medicine doctors, the diets, the workouts, they're not working, motivation's low, no libido, adrenal fatigue, survival, all that. So we clear it out, right? But what's crazy is that YouTube like hit it off. None of my weight loss videos hit it. But what hit it on YouTube was the video, how to know if you're a medium. Man, we were having people like drop in the DMs, asking all about, how can you help me with this? And so I was like, fine. And what's crazy is that I'm officially like, this is one of my first live videos on it for many, many reasons. Marketing, they tell you do not mention anything other than what you sell, which really at the end of the day, this is what I sell. I just hide it, right? We hide it behind the marketing of weight loss, right? And that's why so many women like working with us and so many people get results is because it is trauma informed, which leads me in tonight. I'm didn't do Q&A for all psychic medium questions. I'm not going to channel maybe like that, but I'm going to answer people's questions. And it's really, really valid because a lot of women want to know how to tap into their intuition, because that's one thing that's not talked about. And it's actually made fun of. And a lot of males in the, male dominated, heavy marketing, heavy sales industry, they actually make fun of women, and they'll talk and laugh about crystals. They'll make fun of, oh, just say chakra, or just say, quantum leap or timelines or human design or astrology. And they make fun of us, right? It's very easy for boys to make fun of girls. And there's a lot of men who are very intuitive and wizards even, right? But it's just one thing in business that doesn't get talked about. And I love that Sarah Blakely, creator and founder of Spanx, okay, billionaire chick, she talks about it. She goes, everybody wants to know the spreadsheets and the systems and all of this stuff for business. And I'm going to tell you one thing that no business owner talks about, and it's intuition. And I've done a few interviews, and on one interview specifically, they were asking me how I've created success. How did I, completely clear out these health conditions, like doctors, even on paper, it's a miracle. How are we wiping out things that doctors say can't even be done? How did I create 7 figures and going beyond? How do we do this? How do we create this life? Right. And it goes way beyond manifestation and in law of attraction. There's so much gray area. So if you've done the law of attraction, like this didn't work, there's a reason why. So anyway, with that being said, I can just go ahead and get into it because I don't want to waste any time, because I do want to get to the questions. But just knowing that it's one of those things that's kind of, it's a taboo subject because it's a very fear-based thing. I mean, look at today. It's what is it, Friday 13th, and they've made it into a fucking horror day. It's really the day of the goddess. That's why 13 is a sign of witchcraft. Like back in the day, if you rubbed together oregano and said that you were going to put it on your feet, you would literally be burned at the stake. I don't know, I'm making that up, but that's how stupid it is. Now that we have social media and you can fly your freak flag and be celebrated, back in the day, your ass would get drowned and burned at the stake. So I'm here. Okay, I'm here. Yay, Vernell. I'm here to just pretty much share my shit. And for those of you wanting to know how to tap into your intuitive gifts, because you're going to need it for business, you're going to need it for working out, you're going to need it for food, you're going to need it for your babies, you're going to need it. Did you know that femininity, by the way, that was suppressed Okay. Heads cut off. This is why most of our thyroids don't even, or having problems. I won't even say that. It's why thyroids have problems, is it's words left unsaid. We are afraid to speak up. We're afraid to be who we are, express ourselves, because we may get whacked. Okay. Those days are done. Those days, they're done. They're done. They're done. Say it with me. It is done. So I'm going to answer some questions. If you have any questions about psychic, medium, your spiritual gifts, how to tap into them, how to understand the discernment and hear and listen, ask away. So I'm going to try to check on, Facebook, Insta here, and then YouTube, and then we'll upload it and you can listen to it. So the first thing that I just want you to know, most women are very intuitive. That's what being a woman is about. We are feelers. And I actually have a video, very scientific, backed by science. I know you masculine people love that. Backed by science video. And it's called, I think it's the 13-year-old video. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vernell. Maybe you can put it up here. Is it on a podcast? I'm not sure. I think it is, but is it, Vernell, the 13-year-old video? Where I break down the brain of a female from pretty much infancy, I can't say that word, to an old lady. And once you understand how our brain works as a female, or whatever you identify as, but if you were born with a vagina, okay, that's what I mean. Now, guys are very intuitive as well. You can connect to the same type of thing, but we're just talking about what we're talking about tonight. Okay. I'm not going to try to be politically correct and all that stuff. It's an energy. So it's feminine energy. Men have feminine energy just as women have masculine energy. So the first question, and if you haven't watched the video, go watch it, how to know if you're a medium, because if you don't know, you're going to think you're fucking crazy. And I will share a story about how I came into my mediumship, or not even came into it. I've always been that. How did I know that I was? Because if you don't, you will think you're schizophrenic. You'll think you're nuts. And, I am crazy, but you'll really think you're a case study type thing, like certifiable. Okay. So you got to find your freak friends. You got to find your weirdo friends so you can find your place in this world. All right. So the first question is, I've been working on listening to my gut, and it seems like it's a good start. But what can you do to practice and develop your ability to hear more clearly and consistently? So I do have a video I just made for you, and it's how to know if it's how to discern if it's intuition or trauma. Like, is it your gut, your intuition, your gut, or something else, right? Because sometimes you can say, well, I'm listening to my gut, but really you're taking action out of fear, or inaction out of fear, out of your trauma. So you can't tell a trauma survivor to listen to their gut, because maybe they're so closed off because they've been so hurt before. They're going to try to take action based on that trauma. So there's a very big difference in listening to your gut versus your heart. God source. So whatever you believe is God, that, which is love, which is, that's what we're talking about. Okay. So how do you hear more clearly and consistently? I would say for me, I had to get healthy, because your channel is just as good as your channel. And, for me, because it's hard not to project, because if you think about it, the person that is the channel, it's whatever they got going on. Like, if you ask them a question to channel for you, whatever they're going through, or their experience, or their limitations, could be projected onto you, whatever they're afraid of. Because let's just say you've got a intuitive coach that has money trouble or relationship trouble deep down back in the subconscious, and you get them to channel that for you. You got to make sure their channel is very, very clear, and eat the meat, leave the bones, because you may have some junk in there, right? So I'd like to go over how to tap into your own channel, so we stop kind of seeking outside of ourselves. And if we do, make sure it's a really good source. And if it doesn't feel good, then you don't have to vibe with it. Somebody says, talking about feelings from two objects that affect your mind in no way. Oh God, here's a masculine fuck right here. Let's just block him. I'm not trying to deal with men right now that are closed to, they're not awakened. Okay. We're over non-awakened men who think this shit scares them too, by the way. That type of man's very afraid of a woman in her power. That's why they have to put her down, cut her off. We don't fuck with that. Got it? Okay. So, and we just block them. So, how to do that? How to hear more clearly is obviously you can do tools like meditation, getting in nature, taking deep breaths, learning how to regulate your nervous system. So it's really, really important to learn how to regulate your nervous system. That's why we teach it in Hot Moms, right? And it's a constant game, you could say, because we want to make it fun. Because if it ain't fun, I ain't going to do it. Okay. Of self-awareness, like metacognition, of the awareness of your thoughts, because sometimes the thoughts you think are not even yours. Okay. The thoughts you think sometimes are not even yours. So it's like, how do you know? Is it a piece of you that was hurt? Is it your mother's voice, your mother-in-law's voice, your dad's voice? Who is it? And that's where the medium part really comes in. And now the cool test that you can do, and I learned this from one of my first, whatever you want to call them, spiritual teachers. This is water. A fun little test. Y'all ready for a little game test to see if you have more like psychic ability versus medium? Okay. So sit up straight, take a few deep breaths. And I want you to think of a song. You don't have to tell me, you don't have to type it out. So just think of a song and think of it in your mind and sing it. And just say yes if you've got the song. Say yes if you have the song in your head. Yes, I'm looking. How do you even start your spiritual journey? I have no idea. Oh, Amber, such a fun. Are you in the free group? I hope you're in the Hot Moms free group, or just start listening to my podcast. Can I get a free reading? No. No. Okay, yes. Thank you. Thank you on Insta. Nicole, yes, thank you. Oh my God. Lady Divine. Sounds like you love that name. Everybody thinks you're crazy. Yeah. Hey, come on over. We celebrate. The crazies are the ones I want in my fucking corner, because it's those that's my people. And for so many years, I felt so like I was too sensitive. And so I had to put on that hard, masculine vibe. But anyway, okay. So think of the song. You got the song. Okay. Who's singing it? Is it you singing it, or is it the band? Okay, good. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Is it the band or you? And the glam gypsy, did you ask me before what my human design was? Yes. Okay. Okay. Who's singing it? You or the band? You or the band? Just put it in the comments. Who's singing the song in your head? You or the band? The band. Good deal. Band. Okay. Same here. I can hear like Eddie Vedder. However he fucking sings, Okay. I can hear like Eddie Vedder. Band. Okay. Band. Let's see what everybody else is saying. Okay. Yes, I did. Yeah. Okay. So you were right. I really wanted to tell you that because I wanted to honor your intuition. You were right. You said whatever you said, some manifest generator. That's what it is. Cause I went and looked it up because I haven't thought about it. All I know is it's sacred authority, but I wanted you to know, sister, that your intuition was right. So it's important when you realize that your girlfriend, your friend gave you this thing, this channel, or maybe their intuition, and they shared it with you. You always want to let them know like, hey, you were right, because it's, they're growing in their gifts. So they need to understand their feelings and discern their feelings and like confirm some things. So the band. Okay. So if you hear the band, you have more medium tendencies. You can hear the actual voices, whatever. Psychic is more where it's your voice. Like my husband's very psychic. Okay. He hears his way, and you can be both psychic and medium. I'm both. You can be both psychic, medium. So, that's just an easy little fun way to tell like which one you kind of lean more towards. And do y'all want to hear how I realized that I was a medium first or last? Let me know. I kind of want to let me answer the questions first, and I'll go into me. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So the answer to how do you hear more clearly and consistently, you hear more clearly by quietening yourself, right? Practicing and just being open to the gift, say, I'm ready to receive the messages, cleaning your pipes. There's tons of meditations you can do. You can do bunches of things to open up your pineal gland, your third eye. Just Google some shit. I mean, I've got all this in my course, of course, but and then consistently is you go in to your own energy consistently. Consistently. Yeah. always going back to who you are, but you got to get to know who you are. And a lot of people don't. So I think as we proceed throughout these questions, you're going to find the answer to what ask. An intuition version of a workout program, that's one of those things where, if you've got a plan, it's more on how your body feels, tapping into your body. Yoga is a great way to understand how you're feeling, womb massages, any kind of self massage or meditations, talking to parts of your body, asking it what it needs. But once again, we can go into that at the end. How do you step into this power? I love this question. Who here is scared to say yes to this kind of thing? Okay. Who here is scared to be like, oh God, that's devil's work. I'm scared to open myself up to this type of thing because of negative energy. Okay. And I said, the very energy that would be afraid to open up is the energy that's already got you. Okay. So I'll say it again. The fear that's asking that question is the worst thing that's going to happen. The fear is all you need to be afraid of. So once you recognize, okay, that's fear, and you go back to love, you got to know what love is, right? And a lot of you that are Christian and you do have a faith, what does that feel like for you? A very supportive, loving, co-creative power. Those in the spiritual realm will say spirit guides, when really, quite honestly, for me personal, my personal experience is, I think there's a God source in everybody. I think that our spirit guides, yes, there are things that can help assist us, just like there's angels. You can believe in all this, or you can say it's all you, and you are me and I am you, because it's just all one. So we could go into a fucking rabbit hole. We're not going to do that. I think it's important for you to have your own, connections and everything. I think everybody's individual, unique channel is amazing. So I really want you to learn how to tap into your own channel and trust it, and really trust it. And it's going to take time. I'm still learning how to trust my own channel, right? And I get stuff channeled for people, but when it's for me, because there's emotions involved and there are some traumas there, it's a dance, right? So how do you open yourself up without the negative energies? Okay, some things here. If you have a health condition, if you struggle with body weight, if you struggle with insecurities, if you watch the news, if you watch the stuff going on with Israel, if you watch anybody's page that has negativity on it, anybody gossiping, watching horror films, anything like that, it's already got you, honey. It's already got you. So if you're afraid to open up to spirit realm, you're already like the very fear in asking the question means you're living in 3D world. It's all 3D, all fear-based and feeling and human shit. Okay. So if you feel any of those feelings, if you struggle with your body, if you have a health condition, if you're sick, if you're afraid, if something throws you off center and you go through a traumatic situation, you disassociate, world's not safe, people aren't safe, all this, you're in it, baby. You're in hell. That's fucking hell. The news, watching the news, all that loaded. It's programming us with fear. And that's the only thing to fear is fear. Not really even be afraid of that. Sometimes you want to get to a point where you see fear and go, cool, cool, cool. I see where I'm not free, and I see a chance to go within and find healing and find the love and go back to love and bring the love back into me. Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it. Okay. The highest frequency of love is what you want to work with. Now, listen, I'm not going to say there's dark energies and dark things. I knew girls that like really liked revenge, and they were like, you don't fuck with me because you come at me and I'm going to do this to you. I don't fuck with that. And I don't suggest you doing that either. And that's why I say, when you put energy out into in the universe, the world, people you're following online, if you send bad energy to them, like, well, she's fucking this or she's fucking that, that's going to come right back to you. That's just the laws. That's the law, So you really got to continuously check yourself and check your energy. Keep it clean. And the one way you can keep your energy clean, sleep, taking care of yourself. That's why self-care is so important. And that's why if you're struggling with weight and you've got low self-esteem, or you've got poor health, or your gut's not working properly, and you're just not feeling good about yourself, now you're opening up to some negative energies. Okay. See, y'all are thinking that you're going to sit at a fucking Ouija board and some shit going to happen. Y'all been watching way too many movies. No judgment. I thought the same thing. I've gone to psychics my whole life. So this just smells like trees and it keeps me grounded. I went to my first psychic when I could drive, and she was a total one of those. It's like, give me a bunch of money and I'll go break curses for you. Yeah. But then I found one that was the story. God love her. Okay. I found her. I searched her out because she read for my family, and I searched her out and I found her. She lived in a trailer. And I bet this woman had 25 dogs. RIP, you know who you are. I bet she had 25 dogs in a trailer, and I bet 10 people lived with her. Her teeth fell out when she talked, and rats ran across her floor when she would channel for me. She's spot on, though. She was psychic. And rats would run across her floor, her teeth would come in and out, and she went to church every Sunday, would sing in the choir and all this stuff. And for me, being a trauma survivor, trauma people, for me especially, I didn't want to go to therapists because it was almost like psychics. If I went to a psychic, they could validate my feelings. I didn't have to say anything. They just knew how I was feeling, and they would say things and validate things. And just knowing the future, for me being a trauma person, if I knew the future, I felt safe. Can anybody relate to that? Like, if you just tell me that I'm okay, I'll feel better. Okay. So that's kind of initially why I sought out psychics. I wanted answers. I wanted to feel like, I'll read that in a second. I wanted to feel like I was going to be okay, but it's interesting. My whole family, we're Southern Baptists, where that's very frowned upon. So I'd go home and they knew I went there, and they'd say, "What did the witch doctor have to say?" They wanted to always know what the motherfucker said, but they're terrified of her. And she told me, she was like, "Well, you have the gift, you've got the thing. Do you want to know how to use it?" And I was like, "Nope. Fuck that. No, we good, sister, because the devil gonna come get me. Oh, the devil's coming. The second I say yes, he gonna be right there at me." I was already living in hell. Devil already had me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, since struggling with weight and sleep. So if you're already struggling with sleep, spirit's already trying to wake you up. Your higher self and everything's trying to get you to wake the fuck up, because it's just you see what I'm saying? So if you're ever afraid of tapping into universal conscious love frequencies, okay, that's where you got to question yourself, because you got to start looking at, what are you afraid of? Okay. You're afraid of an evil spirit attaching to you. Well, if that's what you're afraid of, build your immunity. Okay. Vibrate so fucking high, because those things can't stand love. That's why the exorcism people, you bring in God, because it's love. So if you want to scare the shit out of anything negative, be full of love. Be full of self-love. And that's hard sometimes because the world we live in, obviously right now, and they're trying to stir everything up with this Israel stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, we got to keep our vibe very high, because they control everything, controls us with fear. The more they put out there that makes us hate each other and like go against each other, it isn't this horrible. The second you start feeling low, man, is when you get susceptible. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying you look at it like, okay, let me go within. Let me go increase my prayer time. Let me go increase my meditation. Let me make sure I'm eating well. Make sure I'm hydrating. Let me go work with nature. Okay. So there's what I have to say about that. What does it mean when you only get communication while sleeping? This is a great question. 3 a.m. is when the veil is the thinnest between the spirit realm, if you will, and, the 3D or whatever. My dogs are going crazy in there. So here's what you do. And I asked the girl when she said this question, I said, let me ask you this. When's the last time you were able to do a 2-hour journey? Like, journey means like a meditative. I love shamanic journeying. Like, oh my God, I didn't even know what I was doing and realized I was doing like shamanic journeying. Holy shit, I love it. And there's so many guided meditations that will take you there as well. I have a ton of them in our community, Hot Moms Mastermind. And if you're watching this, listening, go to caseyship.com/podcast offer, grab something, book a call, you can get in, whatever, with tons of courses. So just find us and ask us how you can get in or how you can help, and we'll help you. But, and she goes, no, I haven't done that. I haven't, most women don't, unless you're a paid, you're a paid oracle channeler, and all you do is spend time in the spirit realm, whatever, which is, if you're shamaning all the time in the 5D, it's, and it's hard to be 3D, because 3D hurts. 3D is human, it's way better up there in the clouds. You know what I mean? But anyway, she goes, no, I haven't been doing that. I said, all right, then. Just like trauma, if you don't sit with your shit during the day, it's going to wake you up. If you don't sit with your shit, you're going to get health conditions. If you don't sit with your shit, your relationships are going to go shit. If you don't sit with your shit, your fucking money, your kids, your life, everything's it's going to get you. It's that song karma, right? Mastermind is the shit. Holler. Yeah, hell yeah, it is. So if spirits or whatever keeps waking you up, you know, you're getting these things. Sometimes you can be astral realm, you know, psychic attack type shit because your energy and your vibes low, man, you got to go back to love. But if you want to not be, you know, awake in this, you don't want to get awakened and it's, you know, bothering you, all this stuff, I would say to look into healing your adrenal glands, look into, you know, your trauma, learn how to do shadow work. This is what we do in Hot Moms Masterminds. This is what we teach. This is why weight loss becomes like, oh, no wonder you struggle with weight. No wonder you struggle with that. Look what was in your closet. Look what was in your subconscious. Look what was in your cells. Look what was in your being. You know, how you gonna get, what does Lauryn Hill say? Something about right within. How you gonna something if you're not right within? Like, that's what I'm saying. You can drink all the green juice, you can do all the prayers, but if you don't learn how to do the deep shadow work, which is what they scare you about, if you don't learn how to tap into your intuition and your channel, then good luck, because you've got to tap into the higher realms, mind, body, soul, right? So if you only get communication while you sleep, then start talking to it. Start talking to your higher self and say, what would you like them to show you during your sleep? I would say, and I'd get so many wonderful downloads when I'm going to sleep and when I'm waking up. So be aware of what happens. Okay. And if you can't remember, your thyroid's probably off, or you just don't want to remember. You don't need to remember. Like I said, if you remember, it's a message. Okay. Typically for me, if I dream, we could literally talk for 3 fucking hours, but we're not, because I want to go by paddleboard. For me, I will get downloads in the morning and as I go to sleep. I know they're downloads because of how they feel. Now I'll explain. So if I'm in a dream, and let's just say this is one, for example, because I started channeling in my dreams when I was a teen, because I would have dreams about things, prophetic dreams. And then I would ask the person and they'd go, have you talked to me? How did you know this? Or I would see things in the future and it would actually happen. So this started happening when I was a teen, but I saw dead people when I was little. I felt energies. I'd feel freaky stuff and I'd see stuff and they'd be like, oh, you're just a little kid. You're not seeing all that shit, you know, whatever. But just to give you an example. So I had a client over, you know, I did a lot of 2023 for me was way too much shaman work. I don't have the capacity to do that at this time, but I did a lot. So people would come in for healing. Right. And before they would come in, they were coming in to my house. We're doing deep healing work. So I would get dreams, because I didn't do meditations. I didn't go sit and meditate for about the person, but you could wake up in the morning and meditate about the person, place, thing, situation, and get the messages, or you can just do it in your sleep, whatever. But anyway, so I had a vision in my dream, and this may be a trigger warning. I'll try to not be graphic. So I was sitting there and this older man was putting his hands down my panties. I had pink panties on, but there's no emotion. Okay. There's no emotion in me. I didn't feel any certain way. It's like I'm observing. It's like I was the person, but I was also observing, like, there was no emotion to it whatsoever. So I knew when there's no emotion like that, it's not for me. It's not mine. So my client came over and I said, so there's sexual molestation here. Is it on your dad's side? She goes, yeah. How'd you know? I said, it's okay. I said, I mean, I see the panties and there's what happened. She goes, yeah, holy fuck. I can't believe you know that. Okay. When it's for me, this is just me. Everybody can be different. That's why I encourage you sharing stories with your friends, because everybody may get different messages. And then if it's for me, if it's something I'm working through, there's feelings to it. I'll usually get an animal totem. I'll usually have feelings, you know, it will be some kind of a fear or a feeling of whatever it is in the dream. If there's a feeling to it, it's usually mine. Okay. If it's no feeling, it's usually a channeled thing for the client that I'm going to work with the next day. Or you could set time aside if you don't want to get woken up. Same thing with trauma. If you keep dreaming nightmares, it's because it's some trauma shit you ain't addressing, most likely. Okay. So you need to find a professional or learn how to do shadow work or learn how to process trauma, regulate that kind of stuff. We do have that in Hot Moms, but whatever, seek a professional if you need to. So the next question is, and then I see here example from me too about a baby I lost. No one even knew about. Yeah. Me too about it. Oh, Beth. Oh yeah. When I asked you, yeah, I did have a dream for you, didn't I? Yeah. Hers was, my babies. Let's see. One of my old, yeah. So I was pregnant and then I had lost one. And I said, oh my gosh, the baby that you had needs to know his brother was lost at birth in utero. And there was no emotion. So I knew it was for the lady that came in, and it was I won't say her name. I don't know if you want me to, but she came in, she goes, how the fuck did you know that? And I'm like, okay, no, it's cool. It's okay. But it's just things that spirit, that they need to work through. It's coming through. It's coming, whatever. Her twin. Yeah. 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 So, and that could lead to where when you're older, you have this weird guilt. You've got this weird survivor's guilt, or you've got this weird grief. And you're like, why? Well, it's because your twin was lost, or because your mommy had a miscarriage right before you. Like, you never know, right? You don't care. Okay, thank you. You're like me. All right. How do I figure out if I'm into my intuition or just looking for things, overthinking crap? Trauma versus, y'all need to go watch Trust Your Gut. Okay. Yeah, that's what you need to do. And I'm reading the questions who commented on my socials. That's why those of you that are live, I don't want to sound like a bitch. I'm just reading the people's questions that commented first because it's fair, right? Okay. So how do you know if you're not overthinking? You're thinking. Thinking is different than heart. So if you think about something, if you close your eyes and you thought of, your the thing you believe in, your faith, does that warm your heart? Your children, what warms your heart? Where do you feel your heart space? Does it feel safe? Does it how can you tap into your heart? How can you tap into feeling love? That's completely a feeling. Okay. It's not thinking. So how do you know if you're overthinking? Because you're in your fucking head. You're not in your heart. You understand? Also, for me, when I get feelings about a person, place, thing, or situation, it's like a red flag. I can best describe it in the back of my head. I don't know how to explain that, but for example, it's almost in the back of my head and in my heart. Yeah. And that's when I'm like, okay, I know I need to do this. It's in the back. I would say back of my heart, back of my head is when I'm getting these little things about a person, place, thing, or situation. Okay. How can I tell the difference in my feelings and intuition? Once again, understanding trauma, understanding your personal triggers and all of these things to know, like money, when women sign up, right, to work with me, they'll get triggered and be like, oh, I just don't do things. They get triggered. So they start making up all these excuses. I don't do things like this. I don't make a decision. I'm like, bitch, you knew about this shit for 5 days. Shut the fuck. I don't say that, but I want to say that because they're in their shit and I get it. And then Casey, whatever. They're triggered and I'm triggered. So, sometimes I just don't have patience to breathe through it. I'm like, oh my God, I need more rest, obviously, when I'm in that state. But, they'll say something like, well, I just don't feel good about in my gut right now to do this. I'm like, okay, which is the same fucking feeling that got your ass in this situation. I'll never forget one time this one lady goes, let me go pray about it. And I go, okay, let me ask you a question. Can I be honest? She goes, yeah. I said, is it the same God you've been praying to this whole time? She's like, yeah. I said, I don't know if I listened to that one because it doesn't sound like it's pulling through right now. This bitch's health was horrible, relationship shitty, kids, like her whole life was up in shambles. I'm like, you're going to go pray to the same thing that's giving you this life? I may need to pray to something else. Like it's a joke, but for real, you know what I'm saying? You can't create this new reality with the same level of consciousness that created your shitstorm. So you've got to have emotional intelligence. So y'all start learning about emotional intelligence. Once you have emotional intelligence, the more you know, knowledge is power. Then you can start saying, you can understand feelings and you'll know, okay, this is the feeling of that. This is why Hot Moms Mastermind, we teach you how to identify feelings, where they came from, who is it, so you can understand parts of you and know like, oh, this is the 7-year-old. Oh, great. All right. Or whatever. And be there for yourself, tap back into love, remove the uncertainty and fear, tap into the love where it's supporting this and that, and you take action out of that. Okay. How do you find or realize what your intuitive gifts are since they've been pushed down for so long? So how do you find out what they are is you learn how to get really quiet. You get so off of caffeine. You start just healing your shit. Caffeine, because it's a mind altering thing that's not going to put you back in touch with who you really are. So understanding shadow work, every little thing that you run up against in life that bothers you, that triggers you, that activates you, or whatever you want to call it, lean into that, find out what it is. And then you'll start knowing like, I knew this. Okay, well, next time, listen, right? Okay. I know we all have intuitive gifts, but how do you tap into them? How do you tap into them? So here you go. I taught my whole team to read this girl without even seeing her. Okay. How do I do this? Okay. So for example, a certain application, because we can read, we call on people's just energy when they come through. We just have to be 3D and ask fucking questions. Otherwise, I would be like, hey, I see your app here. Here's what you need. Sign up and it's done. But people are humans and they need to fucking talk about it and talk about it some fucking more. When really, if we could just do soul to soul, it'd be really great. That's why sometimes I don't even need to know the thing. You know what I mean? It's just like you can just hear them talking or see them or see their name and go, okay, here's what type of stuff's coming through. But we read an application and I got all the teams sit there and we got them quiet, we got them breathing. And I asked them a question and we went through and I said, here's how you do it. And sure enough, they nailed her, nailed the exact, how they nailed how she looked, what problems she had just by what she said in the app. So I would have to come off my antidepressant. I mean, I wouldn't suggest that. I ain't no doctor. Y'all don't fucking watch my lives and be like, you go do all this. I mean, we've helped women come off of the emotional condoms. But sometimes, I've seen sensitive people, they need them. So sometimes sensitive people need the shit, man. Sometimes they need the thing and can still tap into it. Like some of the best shamans I know, some of them take stuff, so you there's plenty of people that are amazing mediums and channelers and they take antidepressants and caffeine and all that. I'm just saying for this question specifically, I know her energy and that's what specifically she needed, not you. So how does she tap into her intuitive gift? She goes within more. She's got to learn how to go within and stop going externally and outside of everybody and outside. She's got to find herself. Right. So yeah, not you. But if you want to come off antidepressants, I've been on them too. They are an emotional condom for good. Some people need to not feel everything because they feel so much. So you just got to really work with your professional and see what's going on. But yeah, we have helped a lot of people come off of that with medical guidance, of course. Okay. So how do you, hold on. Okay. Here's how we did it. So everybody sit up straight. Just sit up straight, close your eyes, unless you're driving, and take deep breaths through your nose. Count to 3, hold for 3, exhale for 3. Just take 3 of those breaths. I want you to imagine when you're sitting here and you're doing that when you breathe in, there's this upside down triangle of white and rainbowish light of just love coming from the top of your head. And when you suck in, you're pulling it down through your body, going to your bottom, and then it goes out your bottom, connects back into the earth, and it just kind of connects you like a cord, like red cord beating down deep down in the earth. Rooted, you are rooted. Oh wow. Connected down into the earth's core. You're supported here. You belong here. And just keep your eyes closed. I'm going to ask you some questions. So keep your eyes closed. Keep breathing. And as you're breathing and as your eyes are closed, do not think about the second. Like when I ask you this question, just type it in. Just type it or say it out loud. Okay, breathe. Eyes closed. What do you need right now? What's the first thing that came to mind? What's the first fucking thing? Bitch, do not second guess. What's the first thing that came to mind when I said, what do you need? What was it? What was it? Somebody put in the comments. What do you need? The first thing that came to mind. What is it? Peace. Okay. Peace. Okay. More time, comfort, love. How you gonna win when you get right within Kira? I fucking love you, baby. Okay. Confidence, love, money. All right, now y'all stay there. Stay in that space. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. That's you. That's life. That's chi. That is the God source. That's the love. Just keep breathing. Breathe more of it in. Breathe life in. When you're a baby, you come out and they want you to cry. They want you to breathe life. You're alive. Breathe in that life force. Okay. Keep breathing. Now, knowing the thing that you just said, you need love, you need peace, you need things. Okay. Now close your eyes. Keep them closed. Keep breathing. And now ask, what would you have me do for that? Or say, let's say it's peace. How do I find peace? What's the first thing that comes to mind? First little word, first feeling, what comes to mind? Or the money. You need more money. What do you have me do for money? What's the first word? Don't judge yourself. What's the first word? Health. Mother-in-law threw you off. You let her throw you off. Don't hate me. Hate the message. Learn how to not get thrown off and learn what it means to get thrown off and how to get back on. You can get back on. I get thrown off too. Notice it. You can come back to yourself. So who on here that said peace, health, love, all this shit, what was the solution given when you asked the question? Somebody, let me know. What was it? What do you need? Serenity. How do you say? So when you ask peace, control, and you close your eyes and you go back in, you say, what would bring me peace right now? Don't rush it. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Helping others. Then that's what you do. How can you help somebody today? Start with self. All right. Then what does that look like? Go jump. See, y'all have the answers. Leave. Connection. See what I'm saying? Girl, y'all are so powerful. You don't even know. Connection. Like, you're so powerful. Stop doubting. You're so powerful. Okay. And you just take action on that, because that's it. Right. And all it requires is just slowing down just a second, breathing, clearing your mind. I recommend learning how to meditate so you can clear your mind, and then learn it. You practice. This is a practice. Okay. And you start listening. The thing that comes through, you just listen. Reinforce barriers. Boom. Boom. And if you don't know how to do it, go back in, trust. And if you're too tight, okay, if you're too tight, you're, trying to force it, breathe, let it go and say, I know you're going to come through. The answer will be given to me with ease and grace and flow, or whatever that feels good. The message is going to come through. Thank you for the message coming through. I'm ready to receive that message. And you just go on about your day, and you make sure you show up to receive that message. Okay. You go and get out in nature, you go walk, you go exercise, you take showers, you do all the things, and it's just going to come through. You're going to be, there it is. Like, this is how I manifest. Call in practitioners, things that I need. I'm like, how's this going to happen? How am I going to find this person? And I'm like, here they are. Here's this person. They're going to feel like this. It's going to feel like this. And you're going to bring it to me. Thank you. And I just sit there and I connect with that breath. I connect to everything in consciousness and universal frequencies and the God and the Christ consciousnesses and the goddesses and God, goddess, like all these things, everything that we are. And I just know, I just trust. I'm like, all right, it's going to come. And it's taken time, and I'm still learning. We're afraid of how powerful we are too. Oh, honey, I cried and got scared shitless when I met like my light. It was in the bathtub in Arizona. I will never forget it. It was in the bathtub in Arizona. I was terrified. And I was like, oh, no wonder. I was like, they didn't know what to do with you. They didn't know. Just stay there. Just don't go anywhere, because you scared so many people. Like, so there's that. Okay. Thank you for helping me connect on here. I needed to set this on. You're so welcome. Same here. I find when I need connection, this really helps me to connect as well. So yeah, I just love that each one of you have the answers inside yourself. And, I really encourage to understand how trauma affects the body. And it's really important that you're healthy, that you're confident, and you just feel good. Okay. And we're not going to feel good every day. I have a lot of shitty days. I have so many days I'm insecure. I'm fine. Fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. But the key is noticing when we're off. I just told one of my shamans, I said, I didn't say this because I was in a trauma response. I just needed some time. I was like, I wanted to do it myself, which is a trauma response. Right. But once you know these things about yourself, you don't go far in a spiral. So it's understanding. It's that metacognition. It's understanding yourself. How do you go through in a way? Who asked me that question? Let me see. I'll answer these questions. How do you start on your spiritual journey? Great question, Amber. It's probably going to start today. It did. If you're here, you're on it, baby. Hang the fuck on. And you make this your prayer. I want to teach my daughters this so that I can give better what I had. Absolutely. That's legit what we do here. It's what we do here. Can I really? Okay. So is it better to see a psychic or therapist? Both. I don't know what you need. I think both. I think for me personally, I would have just done a trauma-informed program, maybe had a counselor because a therapist, I just don't want to be put on meds. Not saying they're bad. I just don't want a cover up. I want you to help me get to the root. And not until I found a really good shaman. I share resources in my community. Not until I learned about trauma and how it affects the body, learned about myself, and I put all of this in the program, right? I put everything's there, because I had a lady the other day, Karen, she cracked me up. She goes, does this program help you? What'd she say? Does this program make you clairvoyant, clairaudient? And I'm like, no, you've always been clairvoyant, clairaudient. This program cleans the pipe so you can receive the messages more clearly. So it's all about you becoming the best version of yourself possible. And when you love yourself, you do things to be better, to feel better, right? So it's all about you feeling better. When you feel good, that's all we need. All we need, all the world needs, all anybody needs is just you feeling good, you feeling better. So that's what I say. Okay, opening myself up, got it. And that's heart. Opening yourself up is heart, because, if we are closed, then we're close to the blessings and the hurtful things. So once you learn how to keep your heart open, it does get better. And people say, like, Casey, how do you just stay motivated? How do you just, I don't stay motivated. I don't stay confident. I notice when I'm off, and I know I know the path to getting back on. That's probably my thing. So it's been real. I want to go get my paddle board now. I need help tapping in. Good to know. I have a video for those of you that want to know. It's called How to Get Into Flow. I think it's available, right, Vernio? I think we have it for sale for like $22. It's the balanced video, which we're having a lot of breakthroughs with that balance training. I teach you how to do like spiritual mind, body, soul balance. Go to my Instagram profile. I know it's on Insta. It's not on my shop page yet. On my Instagram, Casey Ship on Insta, there's a link there. Instagram, links in the bio, and it says balanced, and it's $22. And in that, I feel like the how to get into flow is there. If you purchase it, the $22 thing, and it's not in there, let us know, but it should be there. I think we added how to get into flow, and I walk you through it. I did a live training for my mastermind. We just threw that in there as a bonus. So go grab it. Casey Ship on Instagram. Go to the link in the bio. It's the balanced training. We'll be promoting it this weekend. It's $22 for balance, right? For two. Cool. Erica, Lady Divine, it's been real. I love hanging out with y'all on beach. Yeah. I loved hanging out with y'all on the on what do you call it? YouTube. Okay. Do you find music and sound to be healing? Oh, fuck yeah. I have a whole playlist, man. I've got one playlist I can't even listen to sometimes because it will put me straight into journeying. And I'm like, oh, no, not trying to go. No, owl. Don't come pick me up, owl. Don't come pick me up. We ain't trying to go there. So I have definitely some music that will send me straight into journeying. It's crazy. Oh, but have so much fun, because this is where you get to just find the treasures of the fucking universe, because it's within you, it's awesome. Yeah. I don't want meds. I've tried them all. Yeah, me too. Yeah. And so, yeah, you check out we have so many resources, Amber, all over the price ranges. We've got free shit. We've got shit cost $7, $20, thousands of dollars, $100, whatever you need, wherever you can get in, wherever you can fit in, go check it out. Trust you will be led to the thing. Okay. Just ask and it's going to be given. Trust that, because you are here in my energy. You are here. Yes. Am I saying like I'm just that badass? I mean, maybe because I think you are, because if you think I'm badass, that means you think you're badass. So I'm just saying. Yeah. I said owl because when I journey, all kind of crazy shit happens. I mean, we were laughing the other day in the mastermind because we have this one that's like the enchanted market where it takes you through. It's a soul retrieval. And it's hilarious. We were laughing because this one girl, when she was, because it's frustrating when you're new to the thing and like your mind's all over the place, you don't really know how to connect in. She goes, I'm looking for where's the fucking enchanted market? We're just laughing because we've all been there, Today, I swear, in my acupuncture session, I bet my mind was monkey brain for like 15 minutes. And then I finally let go. And I was like, yes, I've had an owl sitting outside me every night. Never seen one. So that's the wonderful. Go look up owl medicine, spiritual owl medicine. Lots of wisdom. There's death coming through, death in a good way. Like death means just death of cycles, something that you've wanted to, be done with. Is happening. It's all happening. Want to learn about Akashic records? Beautiful. Trust what you're being led to. It's all working out. Trust what you're being led to. Trust where you're being guided. All those things are part of your awakening and part of your ascension process. So go for it. Okay. Don't try to be like someone else either. Don't try to copy their shit or take things. If it feels good, try it on. Great. If it doesn't, don't do it. You know. See you too. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay, bye. Bye. So where do we go to? Okay. Instead, you have Instagram. You could go to my page. I just don't think they have it up. The team is brand new, so they didn't put it up. Go to the Instagram, Casey Ship. Okay. Click the link in my bio. Balance is there. If you don't know, then just shoot us an email. Go to support@hotmomslifestyle.com or find me on anywhere on socials and just DM us. Okay. Just DM us. We got you. But Casey Ship on Instagram. The balance training is there. How to get into flow should be there as a bonus. If you want the mastermind, which is what the ladies are saying, like that's the mind, body, soul, get everything, clear all the blocks, learn all this shit, access to all the resources, that's CaseyShip.com/apply. You could do that. CaseyShip.com/podcast offer. I mean, there's tons of shit, y'all. So just, I Googled it and it said death. Yeah. Scared me. Your version better. Yeah. Think of deaths. Death is not always death, like, because we've been fucked up on death too. Death isn't, the funerals and all that. It is to humans, but just think of death cycles. Okay. You said 9 years. God, that's the number of cycles ending. It's new beginnings and cycles. So this is fucking great. So let's bring in the new life. By the way, we're also in, fall, ending cycles, death. Like it's what we're celebrating, Halloween, and it doesn't have to be scary. Let's celebrate death. Let's celebrate ending of old cycles, ending things that doesn't serve us. We can bring in the new things that do. I always get the confirmations I didn't even know I need from listening to you. Right. Because we be channeling, motherfuckers. Channeling. Shut up. That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. It's been real hanging out with y'all on a Friday. I was like, people's probably doing some stuff. You are the badass. Your energy travels through social media. Oh, thank you, Christy. Because you're a power bitch too. My God, you for real. I was even sharing your story to my VIP people about how you know how to protect yourself. It's just you're bad too, man. I'm like, whoa. But we all are. Okay. All of us. Okay. Okay. Got it here. Got it there. Thoughts on angel numbers. I love them. I think you need to definitely look at that. Whatever you need to confirm within yourself, I think that's what you need to be doing. Got it. Cool. Got it. Cool. CaseyShip.com/podcast offer, or head over to Instagrams and link in bio, that balance training with how to get into flow state, how to get into flow, tap into everything we just did, but it's way longer. $22. All right. Lady Divine, AKA. All right. Cool. 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 Cool, man. All right. Talk to you soon. I'm going to go buy something to go play on the water. Talk to you soon. End.